Hi, this is Rob from Tesla Owners US, and I'm always, let me say, support my people who have taken a referral from me, and one of them is Lainey and Brian. They took our referral, but they have some problems with the car, and it does not seem to be resolved. And the problems with the car is so big that they are thinking about really returning the car. And I want to get some information from you, but this comes from the intro or for someone who can help us.
Hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. All the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in
Okay, here we are in their car. We don't want to drive, but we have some complications with their car. And we would like to have them addressed, and it's very difficult to get a hold of someone at Tesla and or to even get a response from someone. And we are so, Lainey and Brian, I'm so close that they want to give the car back, or let me say, or sell the car. It's awesome car. I show you some movies around the car. They did it very pretty with the foil on that one, and seems to be gray, bluish is their color. What they like, right? And it looks good. It looks stylish also from the inside. But these issues, they don't seem to be addressed, and we're gonna go through each of them one by one. Okay. Good. Let's Lainey. So your main problem, number one. What's the main problem? What do you think?
I would say the problems associated with cruise control.
With cruise control.
Maybe it's not really, shouldn't really be considered cruise control in this car, because all of the settings are under
autopilot. Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But it does a number of things when I would like plain cruise control, like any other normal car.
Like one tip down and
yes.
drive, keep the lane, and
yes.
drive straight and keep the distance, right?
Yeah,
so,
but it does not do that.
It does not do that. What happened? Okay, what happened to make you scare?
So 4 different times I was driving along going full speed, 65 or 70, and the car braked very suddenly, almost to a stop on the freeway. Very abrupt.
Was there any obstacle there?
So the first time I did see a plastic bag that was blowing in the lane next to mine, and so I thought maybe the car is reacting to this plastic bag.
Yes.
It sees that.
Yeah.
The other 3 times I didn't see what it was reacting to, and one time it was at night on the freeway. There were no other cars anywhere around, so I couldn't see if...
And it really scares you because you don't have any trust in the car anymore.
Right, exactly.
Now, I'll give you some background information for that. So, first of all, this button, if you keep that for hold it for 5 seconds, not yet, but if you have that bug at that position, and you keep that car button for 5 seconds, you're sending a bug notice. Basically, your courtesy of telling them this was wrong, review the video footage, and tell me what's wrong with that and fix it.
Okay.
Basically, you are training the AI system with that. Or the AI system that some engineers can look at that and can say, okay, what's the problem? Now, the point is also that you have the car where Tesla dropped the radar in front. So I have a car with the radar. I had autopilot version 1. And then autopilot version 2 came out, and the whole car needed to be retrained. So I waited before I bought the Model X because it was not trained enough, and it had to be trained from people. So from humans training AI, or as machine learning, right? AI, in order to react, and actually you probably after a year will pay a subscription fee just to be able to teach the car or the software system. What I'm thinking is more that, no, give us a free subscription because I'm going to train your system, right? Because I'm one of millions of training your system in order to react better in the future. So now what happened with your car? They dropped the radar in front. And the radar was kind of a check. So if visual saw something and the radar confirmed it, then yes, I can stop or can brake. Or radar saw something and visual confirmed it the other way around. So now they dropped the radar. Now what happens in front need to be retaught to the system. Happens like autopilot 1 and autopilot 2. We have to reteach the system, but now it's only for the forefront. You have to reteach the car in order to react because you don't have radar anymore.
So it's just the machine vision.
It's a machine vision. It's now only visual. Your car is reacting only on visual.
Right.
Makes sense to that plastic bag there, right? What was that plastic bag? Maybe considered to be an animal or a kid or anything like that.
Right.
It does not make sense to other situations. I had that happen again as well. For me, what happened there is all of a sudden I'm driving on I-10 westbound, and all of a sudden just closing two bridges or so, immediately hard stop on the car. I have to put the accelerator pedal, and then after that I'm pressing the car button for 5 seconds and sends that error message to Tesla. We are nice guys because we inform them that there's something wrong with the software, what you need to address. Depending from the people that there, can they address it or not? And you both guys doing software, I'm doing software for quality management system, manufacturing quality management system. That bugs me, and I understand that it bugs you as well.
Well, furthermore, it's not even that it does that, but in order to turn that off, I have to go in here and take off the automatic emergency braking.
Every time.
Every time. I
Every
can't
time.
just turn it off. I have to do it every single time I start the car.
Yeah.
So if they would just give us the option of not having that feature
And
every
keep
time.
it saved under your profile.
Exactly.
Under your profile. That's what it takes.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Said what it takes. And I understand that's really scary. We get that when we have a trailer in the back, right? We're pulling a trailer with a Model X and just do. We cannot even do autopilot. We only can do cruise, right? And there is an on-ramp on the right side. In 50% of the cases, we always get a hard stop, hard brake with the trailer.
Oh,
Really?
that's scary.
So, and this comes from, there is an on-ramp from the side, which merging to the lane, but the car sees my trailer and doesn't see another car. It sees my trailer, and that's why it brakes. That's what I'm thinking it is. And so,
But we understand that some earlier Teslas just had regular cruise control, and this car has hardware that has this adaptive autopilot type.
Yeah.
So if I want just plain cruise control, I was under the impression I just push this down once and it should act.
And you
mostly
can
like-
have it because it's
But we can't
the
have it.
plain cruise control is only a limited version of autopilot.
Right. And we can't get it. Can't
Yes.
get it the way we want it.
Yeah.
So
Okay, now we're coming to problem number 2.
yes, the windshield wiper.
The
is
windshield wiper.
is the other fun adventure with cruise control in this car. So we had the car out. It was a sunny day, but the car got a little bit of overspray from a fountain, so the car got a light dusting of water.
Yeah.
But we got back to the car, and the car was already dry. It was a sunny, warm day, but you could see on the windshield little droplets.
Little droplets. Yes.
Little droplets, but there was dry.
Yeah.
So we
The
drove-
windshield wiper keep going.
Yes. No, it was not on.
Not on.
It did not come on.
Yes, okay.
So we drove off, and because I could see just fine, it was just a few little water droplets that were dry, but I could see fine. So I'm driving around, it's fine. About 5 minutes later, I get on the freeway and I put on cruise control, and then the windshield wipers start going. And guess what? I can't turn them off. So
Yeah.
I'm going down the freeway, I can't turn off the windshield wipers
While you're in cruise control.
until I get the car out of cruise control and find where to turn off automatic windshield wipers, because when the car is in cruise control,
Yeah.
it has automatic windshield wipers only. You cannot make it manual when you're in cruise control.
Yeah, and I told you about that accident what happened in Germany, where a guy could not find the windshield wiper, and then he caused an accident, and he sued Tesla, and Tesla did not get right. The judge sued. The judge said, "You are at fault. This is not easily accessible." I think the windshield.
But it should be just be
should
like
be there.
normal
Yeah.
windshield wipers.
So
Like,
did you
why
try
not
to
normal?
did you try to flush the windshield wiper after that?
Yeah, the car shipped with no windshield wiper fluid, so I did try the windshield
There was
wiper.
no fluid in
There
it.
was no fluid, so I couldn't get it to stop until we get home and wash the
So
windshield.
they were too cheap to put the fluid in there.
Yes. And
So
we didn't realize that.
Yeah,
And
because
so-
I tell you the reason. It happens to me very similar. There are 3 cameras because Tesla had originally sensors for moisture and water. And the sensors for moisture and water, Audi has them and other manufacturer. So they react on moisture and water. I think they come from Hella. And then when they sensor that, the windshield wiper turn on. If there's more moisture, more water, they are getting heavier,
yeah.
right? So they are long time tested. So now, for Elon, that is, no part is the better part as one part. So they dropped that sensor, but instead of that, they let the camera recognize the windshield wipers. And what one time happened to me was very similar. I drove through a cool weather, all nice, all dry. I drove through a tunnel. In the tunnel, there was lights which looked like drops. And the light looked like drops, and I passed them. It looks like drops on your visual and passing you by. And what that is nothing else as drops on their cameras. They are passing by. What happened? My windshield wipers turned on. And I said, why the heck is my windshield wiper turned on? Because it simulated if there would be drops on your windshield as it would be rain, right? So, and what happened with you, what I'm guessing what happened with you is those little tiny drops, which look like drops when they are dried because of the dust, right? So after you're driving on a highway, it started recognizing, oh, that must be raindrops. Let me turn the windshield wiper on.
Yes.
And then because of that regulation there, that you should not be able to fool around with the windshield wiper automatically, they automatically turn it on and let not be able you to turn it off again.
Right.
So, and it simulated that. So what it would have probably helped would, if they would have filled the windshield wiper with liquid with your car, and you sprayed the car, and the drops were removed with the windshield wipers,
Right.
then there would be camera
would have stopped.
the
Right.
camera would not see that anymore and said, oh,
Okay.
it's clear now,
Yep.
right? That would be happening. So that's what I'm thinking it is, because of those 3 cameras are measuring about the drops on the windshield because they dropped the lights and the other sensor.
But I'll tell you,
Yeah.
generally, it's not a feature I want. I want to be able to operate my own windshield wipers as I want to at all times.
And easily, right?
Easily.
So you
Just
can press the
this.
button there,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and they are turning on, right?
Yeah, now we filled it with the fluid,
Fluid.
so
Oh,
now
good.
it works. But I want to be able to operate this at all times and not have it automatically doing something that I don't want it to do.
So what also happened is you press on that, this comes up. Did you see that? When you
Yes.
press on that, it
Yeah.
comes up here, and then you can turn it on or off.
Right.
So, but it did not work during driving. Okay,
Well,
let
you
me.
can't. It's because you can't turn it off while the car is
While
in
it's
cruise
in
control.
cruise control.
So you have
They
to
won't
take it-
allow it. You have to take it out of cruise control, and then you can access this to turn it off.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's even more unsafe. What I would say.
it is.
I think so.
You think so as well, right?
Yes.
Because
It
I
is
said,
much
why you
more
have to
unsafe.
turn it off cruise control, then you drive for yourself, and then you have to fool around with a windshield wiper as
Yeah.
well. It's quite ignorant, right? So that situation. Okay, good. Topic number 3.
You want to take this one with the sound?
Sure. So, quite often when we have a phone connected
Yeah.
and we receive a text or an email or something that's a notification on the phone,
Yeah.
the volume, when we receive the text or the email, volume automatically adjusts so that it's at the loudest setting.
211.
Yes, to 11.
to 11.
Exactly. It goes
Yeah.
to 11. And
And then after that, if you have music on,
yeah,
or whatever.
it's incredibly loud, and it doesn't adjust back. You have to manually turn it
So you have
down.
to push
Yeah.
the button.
yeah, but you can turn it down the left side as well, right here. You can
Sure.
turn it down here as well, right? But it's annoying, right?
Yeah, the point is that it shouldn't. the Bluetooth, I'm assuming it's a Bluetooth issue between the commands from the phone and what the Tesla is interpreting.
Yeah.
And it's interpreting a volume up event to the highest level whenever we're receiving a text or an email.
Yeah. And then it bumps it all the way up, and then you have to put it all the way down again.
Right.
Right.
So
and that is, sometimes you get those blasting ears, right?
Exactly. From, whenever it's very surprising every time that you receive a message and suddenly the whole car is filled with the loudest ping from your text or your email that you've received.
And you checked with that. They said this is a known issue. Did they say that?
Yes, they said they know about it.
So someone from the sales team, or someone said, or who was it, or from the garage, or from Tesla service, or?
I think I called Tesla service.
It was Tesla service.
Tesla service.
Yeah.
And they said, yes, it's known and you should submit a bug report.
I should submit a bug report.
But they know about it. They said they'd heard about that one before.
And there's some chatter on the web about this issue too that goes back a couple of years.
Years back.
Yeah, I think I saw something from 2019. But it's definitely a known issue. I mean, other people have this issue as well.
Same issue. Yeah. And both of you are using iPhones, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there are times when I'll be driving along and I've started it with my iPhone and the Tesla app is open, of course. And I'll be driving along and I'll get the error message saying the iPhone key is not detected and the car won't restart. So then when I go to restart the car, I have to reset everything, turn everything off and on again, or get the key card out.
That's issue number 4.
Yeah, that's issue
a
good.
small issue.
But
it
good. But let's translate issue number 3. Okay.
First, before number 4.
Before number 4, we work them all off sequentially according to SAFE. in a number of priorities. Issue number 4. So you said it already, right? So from time to time, the software, the phone, is not recognized within the car.
Right.
Yeah.
And it'll be after I've already started it and running with it, and it'll come up with the error message saying the iPhone key is not detected.
And then...
And it will not start the next time.
It will not start the next time. And do you have your key card with you then?
I do keep my key card.
Always keep your key card.
Yes.
And then, by the way, what I also recommend is buy a secondary key card. They keep the original key card, buy a secondary key card. I don't know how much that is, but keep the secondary key card. Because the original key card is basically that key what comes delivered with the car. And a secondary key card is a key card what you copy a key from the second. So then with the secondary key card is copied from the original one, and then you can work with that. Tesla should at least offer you a secondary key card for these situations when the phone doesn't do it. Did it happen with your phone before?
It hasn't happened with my phone, but I haven't driven it enough to
Are there different versions of that? Or you always update your version from the Tesla app, right?
My app is current, yes.
Yeah, your app is current.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I don't, there's also kind of nerve-wracking, especially if you don't have your key card with you and only your phone, and then all of a sudden said, can't start your car anymore if the phone is not recognized, right? So did it recognize then again if you stop and then you shut down the car and then you restart the car, then said, I recognize the key again,
I had
the
to
phone
reset
again?
everything and then it could find it. So I had to turn off the app and then return on the app and reset this.
Reset the whole car, basically two wheels, reset the computer in the car.
Yeah. And reset the app in the phone.
Reset the app in the phone.
So I'd turn the app off and restart it. And then it could find it again.
And then it finds it again.
Yeah.
Okay, good that we are computer wizards, basically. Because if you would, a regular person would figure that out. I have some people, my neighbors, they are over 80. They would never have figured that out.
Well, and the crazy thing is, the other day I came out, I got the car out of the garage with my phone, and I put it in park, and I went and got a couple of things, and I got back in, and it said the key card not connected, and it wouldn't let me go from there. And so I had to restart everything, and it took a full 6 minutes to get everything back up and running and get it operational so I could leave. So it takes a long time.
What I do there is when my car is at home, and if you had registered your home with the car, then there's a section there, keep the car open while at home.
Mm-hmm.
So that is very helpful. So tick on that and keep the car open while at home. Now, it probably would keep the car also open when it's staying outside instead of staying in the garage.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
so that might be a problem. Then you have to do the opposite. You say, "Oh, by the way, close it."
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and our GPS location is incorrect
in the Tesla app.
In the Tesla app.
So it has our address listed incorrectly in the Tesla app when it's parked here at the house.
Oh yeah, it shows you the wrong location.
Correct.
It does.
Right.
But there is another issue, which is fun, that I want to tell you about.
Issue number 5. Issue number 5.
This is a small matter, but it is annoying. So I saw a setting in here to fold the mirrors at this location.
Yes.
So I thought the mirror should fold automatically.
It should. Yes.
Yeah.
It does it for my location. And
well, so we set it to fold automatically at this location, but it starts folding as I'm driving up to the house. It starts folding ahead of time.
Yes.
And so when I go to back in, the mirrors are already folded, and I can't see.
Yes, that's happened to me as well.
So I would rather that the car would wait until the car is off and then just fold the mirrors automatically.
Which is what we did ultimately.
Yeah.
There's a separate setting for that.
There's a separate setting?
Yeah. So
there's fold mirrors there? Fold?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
when you click on fold here, then the mirror is folding, right?
Yep.
And then,
always fold mirrors at this location, but if you don't have that switched on,
yeah,
then they should fold in.
Okay, so basically you operate that manually.
Right.
Right, every time. You click on fold and then unfold. Yeah.
Yep. But I don't think they folded automatically the first few times when we were driving it, because that's the reason we found this. We're like, oh, we must have to set it at this location.
Yes, correct.
Right.
But that's the glove box.
Oh, you unfold the mirror and the glove box open.
That was by accident. Well, that's a fun thing with how small these buttons are, and they can't read anything.
And then what I've heard the last time is your system for recording all of the cameras around should be in the glove box, the connector.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it should be in the glove box. It's not. What is it here? So from here, you go to the. Is there a connection there somewhere? An USB connection?
I don't see it.
Oh, there is a USB connection in here, like down here. Is this it?
No, that's
Oh, that's just the electrical.
Yeah.
It looks like there's some connection. Yeah, here's.
Yes, that is the USB drive.
Yep.
Can you stick that in again?
Sure.
Yeah, that's in the glove box. That's a USB thumb drive.
Yeah.
So it records all of your.
Right.
Yeah, you see that here?
Yep.
It's recording is on. Yeah, and then you can turn that off when you're at home. This is when the recording should turn on or off. On that, what is this? Under safety instruction, and then here exclude home.
Yep.
You see that here?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we got that set.
Yeah, dash cam auto, what is that?
Automatically save your video during a safety event.
So if you want to have that automatically saves the video in the
dash
safety
cam.
event.
Yeah,
You want to accept that, yeah. So now it's on auto, and if something goes wrong and you have an accident or so, it does register that. Yeah, I think it keeps in memory a certain amount of time, half a minute or a minute, and then if the accident occurs, it keeps that what was in the memory actually the minute or so before. And then there is the footage for that, and then here's the viewer of that, so you can look at the viewer, and this was the last time, and then you can, I think you should be able to look forward or backward. But that was the viewer. What was it here? Launch viewer. Yeah. And it is sometimes what they recommend is, this was just in front of us,
Oh, that was me driving.
Yeah. So that is all recorded, right? So, especially if you have events, somebody tried to steal something, break in your car, damage it, or something. Yeah, then you can, if you want, you can delete that mix. So what most people recommend is put an SSD drive in there. So because then you have a smoother recording of the results there. So okay, now at the end, did we could translate it? Issue number 5.
Is that one really an issue, or is that just like couldn't figure out the mirrors folding?
The mirrors folding. Okay, I don't know what's an issue or not, but they can be precise up to 3 foot with the location, and they should allow you to reduce that range more, right? So that just when you are in the driveway, then the mirror filters. So basically, they know about how far are you away from that position, right? So what was that exact GPS position? And GPS can be determined up to 3 foot. So when you are here on the driveway, then they said within 10 foot of the driveway or 15 foot, and it does not start folding the mirror there when you turn into your in your street. Right.
Well, I don't think the GPS would necessarily be that precise all the time. No. And the reverse geocoding for our address is wrong.
It's also wrong. So your address does not show right on your phone.
Correct.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
But generally, don't most new cars, the mirrors fold automatically when the car locks? And you just, isn't that kind of standard?
Yes, that will happen here. It should happen here. So when you're locking your car, the mirror folds in. The mirror folds in.
They don't fold in the garage here when we come home and take the phone away.
Because we're not locking it at home.
Correct. There's another setting, you are locking it at home, and if you're not locking it at home, then you
have to fold the mirrors manually.
Then you have to fold the mirrors manually, because you're not locking it at home.
Right. So wouldn't it be nice if we could not lock it at home and still have the mirrors automatically fold?
Yes.
It seems like any time the car is stopped and you're not driving, like why not fold the mirrors in?
Yeah.
Well, you know what would happen if we ask for that feature. Every time you pull up to a stoplight, you're going to have...
No, it is what now people who are breaking into cars, especially into Teslas, what they know is if the mirrors are not folded and they're standing anywhere, I can break in there because the car is not locked. They know they can open the car. If the mirrors are folded, they have to smash in the windshield. Happened to Martina's Model S as well. They smashed in the windshield, and there was a bag on the rear seat. It was actually my karate bag, and it was Sensei's knife in there, and that was more. It was a dull knife, right? It was a demo knife, but it was our demo knife, what he has used for many years, and he gave that to me because I keep doing his demo or some parts of it, right? And that was lost. My karate belt, my karate gi, and my karate passport, and so on. It was all lost there. So there was nothing valuable for the people in there, and they just throw the bag probably in the Salt River canal or whatever. And we couldn't find it anymore.
But they know because of where the mirrors are.
The mirrors are flapped in. They know, and then they also know that there's an alarm system. Most of them then are completely covered on their faces.
Huh.
So, yeah, this is sometimes fun. So, to watch. So, the next thing is the good thing is that since you bought the car, there was a price increase of about $5,000, I guess, at $4,000 or $5,000. Just recently, a price increase about $2,000. 2 or 3 weeks ago, another $1,000, and then in between, after you bought the car, also $1,000. So the car is now, when you buy it now, delivery date on June will be, you can at least get $5,000 more than what is being sold right now. So It's almost a kind of a business. You are hedging.
Right.
You are hedging cars if you can afford that.
That's right.
So
that's not a bad return for a couple of weeks.
yes. What are you doing for a living? I'm hedging Teslas.
That's right. They can't deliver them fast enough to make that worthwhile.
I would, the other thing about this car that I asked about in the dealer's office, and is that it's just generally, it's really hard to read anything on this screen unless you put your readers on. So my eyes are perfect. I only use readers for magnification, but I can't read anything on there except the speed when that's up. That's the only thing I can read.
And you know what? My daughter asked the same thing. Can I change the font size?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You would think you should be able to.
You should be able to. You cannot change
But
the
you
font
can't,
size.
No.
You should be able to, and on every computer, and every
phone,
you can change the font size. My wife has huge fonts on her phone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when I have to change some settings, when I have to scroll.
Yeah. And I did
But
ask
it
them
should
about
be
it, but
possible.
they
They say
said
it's not
maybe some
possible.
future release.
Yeah.
But they do hear about it a lot. So
Yeah.
why do we have to have these super tiny texts that nobody can see?
Yeah.
And this was the first day we had this car. We were trying to figure out the way this worked.
Yeah.
And we kept hitting the temperature, turning down, but we kept, we're driving, so our finger just drifted over to the heated seats. So we kept turning on the heated seats every time we were touching the...
Happened to me as well. Yeah, that's right.
So it's small. These buttons are small, and it's hard to be precise.
When I published that video, I can tell you that there are people saying, why don't you use voice control?
Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
So there people say that. That's it.
Yeah.
So you should use voice control. Put the temperature on 72.
Yeah.
And then something like that.
Well, we do that now. That was the first day we were driving it.
Yeah.
But even so, anytime I do go to here, it's hard to get it exactly right. Push these pretty small. Got my
I see.
glasses.
I cannot see it from here. So
You can't?
I cannot. I just see it blurry because it is just in between because I have monovision, right? So one eye is for
Distance.
distance, the other eye is for reading. But I'm reading here about a meter in front of me or something like that,
far.
and that's too far.
Yeah.
So I have to wait until my complete lenses are being exchanged. Then I can look for both eyes again.
Well, we do use voice control for that now, but it's that first day we were trying to get it to work right, and we kept turning on the heated seats.
So would you give it another chance, or would you saying, as I'm so fed up that I'm going to sell it?
I don't know yet.
You don't know yet?
I think
I think the cars are getting more expensive, so you can still have choices to wait, right? So they're getting expensive every other week, and they're getting expensive because of supply and demand, right? So there's way more demand than supply because he only has one factory in China and one factory in the US, and until the German factory and the Texas factory comes online, then there will be more, hopefully probably more supply, and then the prices will go down again. And that's why also a reason is why there's no referral codes anymore. You one of the ones got the last referral codes with the 1,000 free supercharging miles, and the reason for that is, hey, I don't need to sell my sales folks there, right? If I don't have to, right? So why I'm wasting miles or electricity for them to sell them if I don't need them anymore right now. They did that long time ago when there was a saturation of the Model 3s, and then all of a sudden they produced a lot, and then they need people to sell it again. They even gave 5,000 miles for someone who did a referral. So, and
well, should we turn that off? I think we covered all the...
I think we covered everything. So, wait a second. So, I have to say, first of all, thank you for the interview. And there is always an honest word to be spoken here. And it needs to be heard. And I hope the Tesla guys are watching the movies and you do something for that, is because you will not have or retain so many happy customers if you don't address some of the things, and some of them are actually critical, right?
Well,
safety critical.
Unsafe to drive if you don't feel safe in the car. If you have to interact a lot with the screen while you're trying to drive, it's not safe. And it's certainly not safe if you are worried that the car will be unpredictable.
Braking. Yeah. They call it phantom braking.
Is it really?
Yes,
it has a term?
It's phantom braking. It gets all the term of that. First of all, hey, thank you for both of you, Lainey and Brian, and guys, subscribe to the channel. Check out more movies to come. I'm speaking everything open. It needs to be said, if it's good or bad. And I hope that the Tesla guys watching it, and I thank you for watching it. And see you next time. Bye bye.